The key part of the TED format is that we have humans connecting to humans in a direct and almost vulnerable way. You're on stage naked, so to speak. The talks that work best are the ones where people can really sense that humanity, the emotions, dreams, imagination. Chris Anderson, Curator, TED. Chapter 1. Unleash the Master Within. Passion is the thing that will help you create the highest expression of your talent. Larry Smith, Tedx, November 2011. Amy Mullins has 12 pairs of legs. Like most people, she was born with 2, but unlike most people, Mullins had to have both legs amputated below the knee due to a medical condition. Mullins has lived with no lower legs since her first birthday. Mullins grew up in a middle-class family in the middle-class town of Allentown, Pennsylvania, yet her achievements are far from ordinary. Mullins' doctors suggested that an early amputation would give her the best chance to have a reasonable amount of mobility. As a child, Mullins had no input into that decision, but as she grew up, she refused to see herself or to accept the label that most people gave her, disabled. Instead, she decided that prosthetic limbs would give her superpowers that others could only dream of. Mullins redefines what it means to be disabled. As she told comedian and talk show host Stephen Colbert, many actresses have more prosthetic material in their breasts than she does in her whole body, and we don't call half of Hollywood disabled. Mullins tapped her superpower, her prosthetic limbs, to run track for an NCAA Division I program at Georgetown University. She broke 3 world records in track and field at the 1996 Paralympics. She became a fashion model and an actress, and landed a spot on People magazine's annual list of the 50 most beautiful people. In 2009, the 5'8" Mullins stood on the TED stage at 6'1", the height she chose for the occasion. Mullins picks different legs to suit the event. She uses more functional limbs for walking the streets of Manhattan and more fashionable ones for fancy parties. Mullins believed her TED appearance began a conversation that profoundly changed the way society looks at people with disabilities. Innovators, designers, and artists outside the traditional prosthetic medical community were inspired to see how creative and lifelike they could make legs.
TED literally was the launch pad to the next decade of my life's exploration. It is no longer a conversation about overcoming deficiency. It's a conversation about potential. A prosthetic limb doesn't represent the need to replace loss anymore. So people that society once considered to be disabled can now become the architects of their own identities and, indeed, continue to change those identities by designing their bodies from a place of empowerment. It is our humanity and all the potential within it that makes us beautiful.
Mullins' determination made her a world-class athlete, but her passion won the hearts of the TED audience. Secret number 1. Unleash the master within. Dig deep to identify your unique and meaningful connection to your presentation topic. Passion leads to mastery, and your presentation is nothing without it. But keep in mind that what fires you up might not be the obvious. Amy Mullins is not passionate about prosthetics. She's passionate about unleashing human potential. Why it works. Science shows that passion is contagious, literally. You cannot inspire others unless you're inspired yourself. You stand a much greater chance of persuading and inspiring your listeners if you express an enthusiastic, passionate, and meaningful connection to the topic.